If anyone wants to clap, now is the time to do it.
Oh, bother. Oh, dear.
I don't remember being cheery.
People say nothing is impossible, but I do nothing every day.
No, Pooh, that's not the... Oh, never mind.
Hello once again, watchers of Good Movies. My name is Nick Pell, and this is my review of Christopher Robin. Now, if you're like me, you grew up watching Winnie the Pooh as a kid, watching the holiday specials, the bigger movies, and the general TV show that they had. You had Christopher Robin as our main human character. We saw the 100 Acre Wood through his eyes. I played through the Kingdom Hearts games, then the main three titles all feature the 100 Acre Wood to some degree. So it's just been a key aspect in both my childhood and then through my video game playing. So the idea that they're making now a movie, they have put these characters in a live action type of film setting, and we get to see basically what has happened after Christopher Robin has eventually left the 100 Acre Wood many years after that point. It's kind of interesting. Ewan McGregor is the main star of this film. You've probably seen him in Moulin Rouge. He was Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars, and so he's mainly known for at least those two roles to some degree. And he plays Christopher Robin, an adult version of Christopher Robin, in this film. And one thing which I really enjoyed about the film, at least right away, is how it opened up the film. Because it starts out seeing Christopher Robin on his last day in the 100 Acre Wood. And that's where we first get to see Pooh and Tigger and Eeyore and all the 100 Acre Wood characters. And they're all just kind of giving him a goodbye party, because after this day he's going to be shipped off to boarding school. And so after that happens, we just get to see like little flashes of the biggest moments of his life. Basically, we get to see his father pass away. We get to see basically him meeting his wife, get to see him going off to war. And it's just a very interesting history that this guy has. And it's not really something that you really would have thought about back in the day. Obviously, when you're a kid, you don't really think about what's going to become of this child many, many years down the line. And so we get to see the past that he has created for himself. And then we get to see him in present day, per se, or where the main setting of the story takes place. And he is just really heavily invested in his work. He's basically told you have to come up with a way to cut costs by 20%, or else a large amount of the staff are going to be let go. So he just has this huge amount of pressure on his shoulders. He's supposed to take his wife and daughter to a holiday to the cabin where he grew up. He can't do that, and eventually, due to circumstances, he ends up coming across Winnie the Pooh once again as an adult man, and you get to see their adventure take place there. And Christopher Robin as an adult is a very interesting character, because he starts out as kind of a dick, honestly, because it makes sense as to why, but you see him basically be very, very tolerant of Pooh and not really wanting to have him there, because he just kind of shows up unexpectedly, and you just see him basically trying to get rid of him as nicely but as quickly as possible, because he has his whole work timeline that he has to deal with. But as he continues to interact with Pooh, eventually returns to the 100 Acre Wood, you get to see kind of this change occur within him. He starts to remember how he was as a child and remember the values and philosophies that he had when he was a child, living and experiencing the 100 Acre Wood. In regards to Pooh and the others, Pooh is voiced by Jim Cummings, and he does a fantastic job. He was the original voice actor, well, not the original, but he was the most notable, at least the most memorable for me personally, as the voice actor for Pooh. He's who I remember being the role. And so that was just a fantastic thing. I think that most of the other characters are revoiced. I don't think that most of them are the original voice actors. I think Tigger might have been. He's the only other character who seemed to have a similar voice. I don't know for sure though. But the animations for the characters look fantastic. They have this kind of stuffed animal look to them, but they're alive enough and functional enough that it makes sense as to how it would play out. The only person that doesn't is Rabbit. It looks actually more like an actual rabbit. And so that was the only kind of difference, and maybe Owl as well. But for the most part, the characters and the animations all look really, really well done. And I don't know, I'm assuming it's some combination of CGI as well as using a live, like an actual version of the characters in front of Ewan McGregor when he is acting. Out of all of them though, obviously Winnie the Pooh, he is the star of this film. He has a lot of very funny lines, very cute lines. The film had me laughing quite a lot, but it also touches the feels quite a lot as well, because you just kind of see the difference in Christopher Robin. It starts off for the first half of the movie this way, where again you see him as this just very changed person, very different, hardened person who doesn't really have the time to have fun or deal with Pooh and his shenanigans. You just see Pooh become more and more hurt by this, and it's a very saddening thing to see. I also feel like the film was very true to the characters themselves, based on like the original show and movies and things that I had talked about earlier. In regards to the characters, their personalities, you have Tigger being this really happy, goofy person. You have Pooh being this very silly bear, to put it lightly. And have Piglet being afraid, things of that sort. And so it's very true to the personalities and characteristics of the various 100 Acre Wood characters. Haley Atwell plays the wife to Ewan McGregor's Christopher Robin, and I really feel like she was underused in the film. That's one of my few negatives about it. She does really well in the roles that she has, and in the few scenes that she really stars in, but I really wish that she would have been utilized a bit more in the film, because I've seen her in like Agent Carter and Captain America and a lot of the Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff, so I know that she's a very good actress, and so I would have liked to see her incorporated just a bit more. The film can also slow down at times. It's really generally pretty well paced and really interesting to watch on screen, especially if you have the childhood connection to these characters, but like I said, it can slow down at times, and so just there's a mixture of that, as you would pretty much expect. But guys, overall, I thought that Christopher Robin was a very fun, entertaining time at the theater. Like I said, if you watched Winnie the Pooh as a kid and you grew up with these characters, you played through the levels in Kingdom Hearts and things of that sort, you will very much appreciate this film. You will really, really like it. And it's a very fun time at the movies. It's not going to be mind-blowing. It's not probably going to be a Disney classic, but it's a very fun movie, and I really had a fun time with it. But guys, those are my thoughts on Christopher Robin. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Did you like it as much as I did? Did you hate it more than I did? Let me know. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Once again, if you should choose, I appreciate it immensely. And as always, my people, my name is Nick Pell. And once again, keep on watching.